Jaune Sophis. Ahsoka, so this is your office? It seems you really were a better teacher than a door guard. John, the fact that I worked part-time as a sentinel doesn't mean I didn't pick up anything from my travels. Ahsoka, touché. Amber was fidgeting at Ahsoka's gaze. Ahsoka, so you've taken in a protege? John, she simply needs guidance, not a constant issue about attachment. Ahsoka, so you really have walked away from the ways of the Order. So, what are you going to do now? John, help Amber stand up for herself. Help fix this world. And when there is nothing left to do, I rest, sit down, and we can discuss my current view on the Force. Ahsoka, I'm not gonna stay for long. I just wanted to meet another former Jedi who survived and see if they are still in the light. John and Ahsoka, you're still in the right, but I feel a small amount of cold from you. Tell me, did you have anything happen to you? John, like Ahsoka, a foreboding feeling? A dream? A vision of the future? John, there was a dream. Ahsoka, and? John, I saw another version of myself, in a black cloak, wielding a red saber, with red eyes. Ahsoka, the dark side is tempting you. John, I know. Flashback. In the darkness. John, I am not you, and I refuse to be you. You are me. As sound hisses in the darkness, then the surrounding lit up with a crimson glow. He then removes his mask. Another John stood with a wicked smile. Flashback end. Ahsoka, that is concerning. Are you doing all right? John, yes, I have been training and focusing on staying true on my path. Ahsoka smiles, seeing more strong-willed people alive. Ahsoka, well, at least you've shown more restraint and self-control than the Inquisitors. John, they were broken, Ahsoka. The Empire broke them and repurposed them. Ahsoka, yes. John, remember this lesson I learned. The story of Darth Revan and his redemption. Ahsoka, a Sith story? John, he was a Jedi at first. After his redemption and return to the light side of the Force, his unorthodox views were heavily censored due to the fact that, having experienced both the light and dark sides of the Force and marrying fellow Jedi, Bastila Shan, Revan believed that the Jedi were wrong to forbid emotional attachment. He had witnessed the power of love firsthand, with he and Bastila's bond saving them both from darkness. Revan believed that denying or utterly control emotion was a fool's game. That jealousy was actually the result of ill-prepared Jedi being overwhelmed by feelings we have never learned to face. Ahsoka, I guess the Order wasn't all that cracked up to be. John, I was visited by Luke Skywalker with an invitation back to a new order he's building. Ahsoka, what was your answer? John, no. I have no intention of following the rigid, dogmatic, and narrow point of view of the Jedi. Ahsoka, you sound like the Emperor. Jaune, beat-me. He was right for once. So, do you have any other business than checking up on purge survivors? Ahsoka, none, as I am on a search myself. John, anything I can help with? Ahsoka, no, I don't want to drag you into another problem after you've found a quiet life here. I'll hate myself if I messed it up. John, Jedi have a tendency to fuck everything up with their hubris and politics. Ahsoka, that sounds like what a Sith would say. John, but am I wrong? Ahsoka, no. Sigh, it's just hard to believe that the Jedi was the problem. John, if you studied deeper, it was actually the old Republic's doing at how they concluded the Great Hyperspace War, attacking Korriban even after the leader of the Sith Empire Nagazada was defeated. Ahsoka, that's wow, you are well read. John, being a guard naturally gives you a great amount of time to contemplate. Ahsoka, well, that was enlightening. I wish you well, John, and I hope you two will remain safe. A familiar voice entered the room. A girl. She looks behind her and was met with Din. John. Din Farrak. Ahsoka. Something you want to tell me? John. They came here to look for Jedi to train him. Grogu. Owu. Ahsoka. Well, good luck with that. Jaune, yeah, just don't tell Skywalker. I don't want him coming here again to get more students. Din, you have a healthy disrespect to authority. I like that. Jaune, I know you would. Grogu was reaching for Amber, who took him and tickled him as he giggles. Ahsoka, this has been an interesting reunion. Jaune, at least we all have something in common. We're all survivors. Din, right? Ahsoka, well, I'm off to continue my search, but first. She leaves a piece of paper which Jaune opens to see codes. Ahsoka, if you ever need help, just call. Jaune, understood. She then leaves to find a certain someone. Din, so what now? Jaune, care to help me teach my student an important lesson? Din, I'm up if she is. Amber, is it gonna hurt? Jaune, is that an excuse I hear? He gave her a mild glare. Amber, no sir. Jaune, good. Jaune took Amber to Oshpin with Din and Grogu following. Later, Beacon Tower Elevator. Oshpin's office. Master and student arrived along with the Mandalorian for a discussion. Ironwood. Mr. Ark, welcome. Impressive work on catching those criminal scum. Jaune, it's nothing, General, but on an urgent note, I need all of your help now. Belinda and Ironwood rose a brow. Oshpin, help with what? Jaune, teaching a lesson. Much later in. Oshpin, Ironwood, Belinda, Crow, and Winter was waiting as Jaune and Amber joins them shortly. Crow, so, what are we all doing here? Belinda, Jaune wanted to teach his student a lesson. Winter, with all of us involved, this is strange. We are all in positions of authority. She looks at Crow and smirks. Winter, well, most of us. Crow, bite me, Ice Queen. Then they were interrupted. Jaune, all right, everyone please do as I instruct. Amber walked to the center. She did as she was told. Jaune, everyone circle her. Everyone then complied. Amber, a what is? Jaune nods to Din. Din then shoots at her with a stun round. But using her enhanced force senses, she parries the attack. Amber, what the hell? Jaune, defend yourself. Use non-lethal rounds as the others took time to switch out their ammunition as Jaune then threw a saber as Amber dodges it. Crow reloaded quickly and took a pot shot at Amber, hitting her in the shoulder. Amber, ag. Jaune then signals to hold. Amber, what is this lesson? Jaune, you were almost caught by Cinder and her cronies. It was a 3 versus 1. I'm teaching you to fend off multiple attackers. Amber, but I still have you watching my back, Master. Jaune, and what if anything happened to me? Amber was shocked at his claim. Jaune, I'm not unbeatable, and I won't be your master forever. The best way I can protect you is to teach you to protect yourself. He then turns and rejoins his circle as Belinda looks at him in worry. Jaune, again. She stood up and took her stance. She then used her superior agility and the force to empower her body using Form 4. She was able to block many attacks as the volume slowly increases from Din to Jaune, Crow to Ironwood, and she got hit by Glinda at the last second. Jaune, use the force. Feel our intentions. See the next attack before it lands. She struggles to get up. The training continues for hours. As then the attacks continue to be increased from Glinda then to Winter launching projectiles and summons. Until finally Oshpin used a burst of magic. That Amber finally cut in half as she panted tired and Jaune finally raised his hand and the circle stops their onslaught. It was bitter work. Jaune, good job, Amber, you endured. Amber, thank you, Master. She then passes out due to exhaustion as Jaune catches her in his arms. Glinda, weren't you a little too hard on her? Ironwood, he wasn't Glinda. She looks at him. Ironwood, we can't always be there for our subordinates. What he taught her was a crucial lesson. Winter just nods, knowing she went through the same drill. Crow. Pretty cool for a young teacher. Open, Crow. Din was keeping Groga hidden due to present company. Jaune. Well, thank you all for the help. If I can ask, will you help me continue these drills in the future? Ironwood. With what you help with, I can take time from my schedule for this. Crow. Meh. We'll see if I'm around, Vale. Glinda. You don't have to ask. Crow. Cough 'cause you like him cough. Glinda. What was that? Crow. I was just coughing. It's pretty dusty here. Ashvin just smiles and takes a cup of coffee out of nowhere. Jaune. Where the hell does he keep that thing? The day ends with a lesson learned.